I, 20 female, threw away the present my grandparents bought me for my birthday because it was inappropriate. My grandparents are highly religious. They're the type of people to put flyers on people's doors. It annoys me, but obviously, I never say anything about it, and I don't know them well enough to talk about religion with them. I currently have a girlfriend. I had no idea they would have an issue with this when I told them. They came to town and we greeted them. During small talk, they asked if I had a boyfriend, and I said, a girlfriend. They sort of exchanged glances, and I knew they were judging me. The judgment was confirmed when we got together for dinner last night, and they bought me something while in town for my birthday. I was very happy and ecstatic. I kept saying thank you, but when I opened it, it was a book called Becoming the Woman God Wants Me to Be. I had no issue with it at all and said thanks, until my grandpa explained that they hoped this read would get me back on track and that they thought I needed God during this difficult time in my life. I knew, absolutely knew, that this was because I told them I had a girlfriend. That was one of the main details they knew about my life, so I doubt that they meant it about some other struggle because, of course, I hadn't told them anything about any other struggles that I was going through. I asked my dad, and he didn't either. I was trying to convince myself I was offended for no reason. I know that they technically meant well, but wow. I got annoyed and went silent for the rest of the dinner. I could tell my dad knew I was angry about it. When I got home, I threw the book away. Unfortunately for me, when they came by today to check out the place, my grandma noticed it in the open trash can. She didn't say anything, but before they left, I saw them talking to my dad about something apparently serious outside. My dad got annoyed and said that if I threw it away, the least I could have done was hide it. I'm mad that he's mad at me. I thought he, out of all people, would understand why this hurts me and how offensive it is to me. P.S. I love my dad very much. He's made it clear he doesn't support what they feel about this whole situation, and he doesn't care that I prefer women. He even supported me through my awkward, confused middle school pixie cut phase. He's a cool dad. I'm angry at his reaction, but I somewhat understand it. It would not be fun to have your parents feel hurt by something your kid did. You're not the idiot for throwing away the book. The book is a direct, personal insult to you and has no place in your home. You're not obligated to appreciate a gift. Your grandparents are welcome to be offended by seeing it in the trash. Hopefully, it results in them asking you about it and maybe educating themselves on why it's so offensive. You showed more grace than I would have. I'm sorry you're going through this. Come on, there's no way you were totally shocked that your extremely religious, door-to-door proselytizing grandparents wouldn't be cool with you dating a woman. Oh, wow. Buy them one of those For Dummies books on the subject of not being judgmental idiots, maybe. Your dad just probably doesn't want to deal with their attitude any more than you do. Yeah, I was going to say the dad doesn't want to hear their crap. Rather than stand up to his parents for his daughter, he just wants her to ignore them and keep quiet. Much easier on his part, but that method backfires eventually, eroding his daughter's confidence in him. As a father, he has to protect and stand up for his child, and he's refusing to do so simply because it's inconvenient for him. I wish you all the best and hope you can get out of that situation quickly and go no contact with them all. I, 29 male, have been with my wife, 29, for 6 years. My wife is pregnant and suffering from complications, and we have weekly appointments since she's high risk. She also has very high anxiety about this pregnancy since we've lost in the past, so I always make sure I'm off or available on days of her appointments to go with her. We also have a toddler son who has autism. Our son is specifically hard to get up and ready, especially quickly. He throws tantrums or hides when he doesn't want to do something. It can be a struggle trying to get him out of the house. A few days ago was our appointment, but I got a call from my mother saying my sister was being rushed to the hospital, that she was in a motorcycle crash and it was super serious. I explained to my wife, head there 40 minutes away. I found out that it was not as serious as they thought, and my sister had a minor concussion and a dislocated knee. My mom is known to be dramatic. I told my wife, and she was furious because I missed the appointment. She was late because our son wasn't cooperating, and he screamed for most of the appointment. When I'm there, it's easier to calm him down when he gets overwhelmed. She told me she had seen where my priorities were. I told her it wasn't my fault. I didn't know my sister wasn't actually seriously injured. And she told me she's my wife, carrying our child, and that she needed me there, but I wasn't reliable. Then she began ranting about what if she found out that day something was wrong with the baby and I wasn't there. I said, but you didn't. And she completely flipped. She's still weird to me and has been nagging me not to miss this next appointment. I know it's probably the pregnancy hormones, but am I really the idiot? Let me clarify. You prioritized your sister over your pregnant wife? Now you're wondering why your wife is angry with you. Gee, I wonder why. You are the idiot, OP. I'm so sorry, but OP's not the idiot. In this situation, no matter what you do, you'll upset someone. Your mom is the idiot for being overly dramatic, and your wife shouldn't make you choose between your sister and her. That's unfair. I would wait till she calms down slightly and have a gentle conversation about this. Acknowledge her anxiety and how you want to be there, and you are. This may be this way, though, throughout the whole pregnancy. Disagree. It sounds like OP knows his mom is like this and proceeded to drop everything and rush anyways. Given the wife's appointment, he could have checked with someone else to verify what was going on before going to the hospital. Also, the idiot part was coming home and dismissing his wife as being overly dramatic and telling her she was just fine. I don't care how dramatic OP's mother tends to be. If you hear motorcycle crash and serious, the appropriate response isn't, I'm sure my sister's fine. It's going to make anyone react irrationally. If OP's making it to nearly every appointment and misses one because he thinks his sister might be dead, that's a perfectly reasonable thing. However, something needs to be done about the mother's overdramatic tendencies, though. Ultimately, going to say, no idiots here. I, 20 female, had my son about a month ago. I lived with my mom and boyfriend and decided to have a baby shower after giving birth. The baby shower was held at our mom's, and I just wanted close family. My brother, 28, and his girlfriend, 26, have been together for 5 years. They live together out of state from us, so we only see them a couple of times a year. I sent an invite to my brother, obviously. For the shower, I made shirts for family members that said Mom, Dad, Grandma, etc. I thought it would be cute for photos. I had an uncle shirt for my brother, and he brought his girlfriend with him. I didn't have a shirt for her. They're not married, so I didn't think to make an aunt shirt for her or include her in family photos. Once the shirts were handed out, she sat in the living room alone and was on her phone. It was awkward. I didn't let her hold the baby because her body language was closed off during the party, and my brother accommodated her half the time. I barely got to spend time with him. She was free to eat and join games, but she didn't seem interested, and they ended up leaving early to go to her dad's, who also lives in the same city as us. Once that night passed, my mom called my brother to ask what was up, and my brother said his girlfriend was very upset and felt excluded, like she wasn't a part of the family. The party was literally for my newborn son, and now it turned into drama. I feel like my brother's mad at me over this. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. They've been together for 5 years and traveled from out of state to celebrate your son, but you wouldn't even let her hold the baby? You made shirts, okay. Why, though, wouldn't you even take a couple of pictures with her? You made sure to make someone who's been associated with your family feel like an outsider, and you think that's okay. You're the one who turned it into an unnecessary drama. You made the shower all about you. The photo thing is silly. You could have taken some photos with her and some without her and have it both ways. Let her hold the baby for a couple of minutes. She wasn't making the whole thing about herself. She just wanted to feel included. She didn't throw a fit at all or yell at anyone. She just quietly left an uncomfortable situation. If OP wants to see her brother more, maybe she should include his 5-year partner. I want to know how long OP and her baby daddy have been together, since being with someone for 5 years isn't considered family. Considering she is a child and lives with her mother, she has no leg to stand on in judging her brother's relationship. I'm speculating here, but I feel like you intentionally excluded her because you don't like her. There's more going on here than you're letting on, OP. For context, I, 23 female, and my boyfriend, 22, moved in together in January 2023. The name on the lease is mine, and I pay all the bills even though we got it together. When we met, we were both living with our parents, and I was thinking of moving out already. Still, as our relationship progressed, my boyfriend started pressuring me into getting an apartment because he was tired of being unable to be together every night. He put absolutely zero effort into this apartment, didn't search for it, pay any fees or furniture, and I had to do it alone. At first, I didn't mind it too much because I had a stable job and made 3 times more than he did. A couple weeks ago, the company I worked for closed down, and I lost my new job. I now have a transition job while I look for more suitable options. My boyfriend also got a new job, and he now makes more than I do. Since I'm struggling a lot to pay all of the apartment bills by myself, I asked him to pay his share so we could both live decently. He refused. As of right now, my entire salary goes into the bills and the groceries that he doesn't pay for either, leaving me with $13 in my bank account until the next payday in a month. My boyfriend still refuses to pay anything, claiming he's saving his money for a new car. He also eats out every lunch because he's too lazy to cook and goes out with his friends on nights out regularly. All of these are things I can't even do for myself once a month. The big fight happened this morning. We went out to dinner yesterday because he pressured me into going, knowing I couldn't afford it. He paid for dinner and everything was fine. This morning he asked me to pay back the entire dinner bill, his share included, because he had already planned to take me to a restaurant later this month, so he didn't want to pay for both. I became really annoyed, telling him he knew I couldn't afford it because I paid for everything else. I reminded him that I had to give up on my last year of college to take a full-time job and pay for our apartment, and that I had to sell some of my belongings, like my PC, to be able to make the rent the month before. He still refused to understand and participate, so I asked him to leave. Now his whole family's texting me, saying that I can't expect him to pay for me when we eat out, and that I should give him the money back. But when I bring up my paying for the entire apartment and groceries, they all say, "But you made more money than him when you got it," and say it's my problem if I now have a crappy job. I'm starting to think I'm crazy. So, do you think I'm the idiot for kicking my boyfriend out? Not the idiot, except that you stayed so long and are considering bringing the garbage back inside. This is called financial abuse, honey. He's keeping you poor. Quite simply, this road waffle is using you for his piggy bank. And if he has such a high-paying job, why isn't he helping you out? Why is he going out every day for lunch with his friends, and yet you're staying home with $13, maybe, in your bank account? And hell, is he even going out with his friends? I mean, you weren't going out with him, I noticed. So what is he really doing out? Honey, you can't see that there are a lot of red flags here, but I assure you they're flying. The answer is all. Thank goodness OP had the spine to throw out that freeloader, that crusty chicken nugget. And I agree. Once you've taken out the trash, don't reopen that bag and dig through it. You won't find anything worth saving in there, hun. It sounds like his family is sick of his leeching behavior too. That crusty chicken nugget. But sure, them gaslighting you to take back this prize of a partner, and I say that as sarcastically as possible, is a good sign. Let them kick him out too. His family's mad because he's their problem again. Yes, his mom, not the one who contacted me, has said multiple times she would not take him back if something happened between us. The time we spent together is nice, and he's always been adorable. But when money's involved, he's an entirely different guy. I feel bad. I'm 26, pregnant, and my boyfriend, 29, and I are extremely happy. We have similar aged friends that we've told about the pregnancy. They were very happy for us, but one couple in particular hadn't even known about our pregnancy for more than 15 minutes before they gave us a list of 30 plus names we absolutely could not use under any circumstances. Normally, I would be considerate about such a thing. We have family-related names on our own list, and I understand how having someone else use it before you could be heartbreaking. However, their list, more or less, consists of the most used names from the last few years. I've asked them on multiple occasions if any of the names have some special significance to them. Every time they've said no, they simply just like them. We expect our baby in a few months, whereas this couple isn't even trying to make a baby and aren't planning on it for a few more years. They've been together way longer than my boyfriend and I, and have talked about baby names for the last 5+ years. Still, as far as I've understood and am aware, their list constantly changes. So we've told them that we aren't going out of our way to pick a name from their list, but won't steer clear of them just because they like them. This has resulted in them calling us all sorts of names, and they've brought it up at family birthdays, to which we've been invited, where their family takes their side. So, am I the idiot for disregarding their 30+ list of common baby names when we pick our name? Congratulations on your pregnancy. If they had one name, maybe two, that was really special, I would give them some consideration. But 30? Are they planning on having 30 kids? Not the idiot, and they're not acting like friends. Seriously, people are reserving the use of a whole list of names now? Why do they even care? Especially if they're common names and have no special meaning. You and your partner should just create your own list of common baby names and tell them not to use it. See how they like it. The thought of them, after only just finding out you're pregnant, shoving a list of 30 blacklisted names in your face is hilarious. If they had a name that they didn't want you to use for highly personal reasons to them, I'd sort of understand. But it sounds like you aren't even that close for it to matter. Why are you friends with these people? Drop them. Pick the name you love, and best of luck with everything.